from. Nice.
The 2014 Women's Final Four was held in Nashville, Tennessee. And in Nashville, there's nothing bigger than country music, Opryland, and line dancing. Well, there's a lot to cover in just a little bit of time. My first stop is the NCAA Youth Basketball Clinic sponsored by Coca-Cola over at one of the local high schools not far from downtown Nashville.
Christina?
Miss Mia, sign this, please. Sign your first name, and then you go.
You're on the orange team.
I must admit that I felt a little sluggish since my seasonal allergy started to flare up. And just when I started getting loose and feeling better, this band came out of nowhere and played. And played, and played, and played, and played. It turned out to be the Stanford band.
Yes, I got people need that. I'm telling you, we need some drill.
Well, after they were finished, we finally got into some drill station work, including layups and the 3-man weave. Next stop, downtown Nashville. Finally made it to Bridgestone Arena for the Final Four open practice. Next on our agenda is the Final Four open practice featuring the Lady Irish. Unfortunately, the Fighting Irish were not playing with full strength as the star of their team was out for the season with a knee injury. After practice, I had an opportunity to go inside the Fighting Irish locker room, where I ran into a familiar face.
I heard my junior and senior year. So how was it was different. Like in the hallways, I just saw a lot of different things that I hadn't seen in private school. And then just like my basketball coaches were totally different, but I like the change. I had a lot of friends at Buford from AAU and everything, so it was fun. It was good. We won the national championship in 7th and 8th grade, and then we lost maybe a few games in exposure, but we were pretty good.
On the Connecticut side, things were done just a little bit differently. For the most part, the starters did all the talking, and I had a unique opportunity to sit in on both UConn stars Kalina Mosquito Lewis and Brianna Stewart's pregame press conferences.
What would a trip to the Final Four be without taking a visit to Tarnytown?
Tarnytown was awesome, completely interactive with games, basketball courts, and PlayStations. I had a chance to pose with the national championship trophy and caught replica locker room stalls for each of the Final Four participants. There also was the history board of the NCAA women's tournament detailing all the past championships, such as Louisiana Tech, who won the first title game in 1982, Cheryl Miller's USC teams, who won back-to-back titles, Texas running the table at 34-0, Candace Parker and the Lady Vols capturing their 8th title, Baylor brawling out at 40-0 to win the 2012 title, Gino Ariema's Lady Huskies winning the school's 8th championship. In the midst of all the Final Four hoopla, I'm still in the middle of my own AAU basketball season. Sunday, we were scheduled to play a couple of games in Georgia, so I hightailed back to Atlanta. We played up against 7th graders and got crushed in the championship game and ended up placing second, but it was entertaining nonetheless.
And now on to the Final Four.
Then there were 4. UConn, Stanford, Maryland, and Notre Dame. In the first semifinal, Notre Dame jumped it up against the Maryland Terrapins, with the Fighting Irish bowling over the Pens 87-61. In the nightcap, UConn crushed Stanford. Brianna Stewart was on the attack and netted 18 points for the Lady Huskies. Amber Orange paced the Cardinals with 16 points, but in the end, Kia Stokes and her UConn teammates were simply too tough, 75-56 the final. In the championship game, UConn got down and dirty and walloped the Fighting Irish with a quick knockout as Brianna Stewart dropped in 21 points, and for the second year in a row, UConn is celebrating with another championship with their fearless leader, Gino Ariema, cutting down the nets.
Here's your mini-me.
Turn it.